Hi Gemini, it's Jenny here, ready with your February Tarot horoscope. So we're just going to be pulling a single card from my Salvador Dali Tarot deck to see what's up. Whoop! Okay, that's what's up. Jumped right out there. All right, so let's see. Sorry, just got everything all over the ground here. All right, your card for the month of February is the Knight of Wands. So this is the way he looks. So we've got this little guy on this big white horse, and he's got this really big staff here, kind of like a lance. And then all around there's like this purple like candle flame there, and down below we've got this little blue toad hanging out there. So that's what the Knight of Wands looks like, and we're going to see what the Knight of Wands has to say. Okay, Knight of Wands, your life's purpose. Since the horse and its rider are relatively small and rather sketchily drawn, one might assume that this card is not that important, but this is far from being the case. Violet red lines surround the figure like an enormous flame. In relationship to the horseman, the wand is more than life-size. A blue toad adorned with stars or diamonds squats underneath the horse. All these symbols have one common denominator: become who you are. For this is the card of your life's mission. When we start out on our journey, we are small, just like the horse and rider, more an outline than a finished picture. The details have to be augmented and colored in. Our aim in life and our potential is self-realization and the full development of our personality. The violet red lines delineate this huge task. The gigantic wand hints at strong drives and a sustainable energy supply. Our life's tasks are the greatest and best that we will ever encounter. They require and focus all our strength. Their completion lasts a lifetime. Often on this journey, high ideals and toad-like instincts have to be overcome. If you possess a lot of fire, you are not only very courageous, but often also extremely tired, retiring, or irritable. Once burned, twice shy. The blue ornate toad functions as a point of reference in two ways. The knight appears to flee from it, yet the creature also exerts an attractive force. Practical advice. You possess an incredible amount of energy. Bring light into the darkness. Help those who are weaker than yourself. Commit yourself to meaningful projects that will benefit many people. Where the darkness is greatest, your light is most needed. It is here that you will discover your life's purpose, a mission so great that it will take a whole lifetime to accomplish. Start your journey now. Okay, no big deal. Just your whole life's purpose being laid out in front of you. But this is the beginning. A knight in the tarot is it's sort of like a messenger. And if you think about somebody bringing a message to you, or in fables or stories where people go on quests, it always starts with some sort of revelation, some message, either of danger or of something that has to be accomplished, and then one embarks on the quest. So this is like this messenger of your own life purpose, this message with this wand, this fire energy of inspiration, this spark of life, this initiation to begin something new, and this kind of burst of energy of something needs to be done, and it is unique to you. It's your life purpose. Everybody gets their own messenger that comes in and says, all right, it's time to rally, and it's time to rally for your life mission and your life vision. So it's kind of like there's this injection of energy, but having the energy doesn't necessarily yet mean that you have the fuel or the certainty for what you're going to do. So even if you have a big flame, a flame is going to go out if it doesn't have the combustibles and enough fuel to burn, as well as oxygen to supply as well. So just having the energy and the inspiration and the drive and the knowing that you have to take action somewhere isn't quite enough. So sometimes you might be in this sort of stage of confusion, of like tension, of like feeling like I don't feel content where I am, I'm agitated, I need to move, like somebody's lit a fire into your ass. But that can just spin you in circles or cause you to be really, really distressed if you aren't able to connect it to a meaningful vision or a meaningful purpose and actually do what needs to be done. So there requires a little bit of kind of questing to begin the quest of what does this message mean. If you have an inspiration and a spark, and something has at least agitated you to say where you are right now is not where you need to be, there's some greater calling that's going to come and happen. you don't need to just leap right out of your seat right away. You can try to think, okay, sit with this message. What is my vision? What is it that I've experienced that qualifies me in particular? Because if it's my vision, if it's my quest, it must be tied to my own life experiences and my own skills. And that's kind of like where we're looking at this toad in as this kind of dark but also attractive and dangerous force, which can kind of be like the way that sometimes it is the negative or the difficult challenges that we've faced in our life that give us the impetus for what our quest becomes, either because we've experienced something dark and heavy, we learn how to overcome it, and then that inspires us in order to help others do the same, or there's some sort of thing that if you've experienced a very particular crisis that nobody else has, even if those other people look like they have your skill set, they may not have your experience, and that's why this becomes your particular mission. And so being able, if you're unsure like what it is that this calling is kind of pushing you towards, looking at the dark places, looking at the challenges, or the places where things looked really, really rough, where it seemed like you failed or something unique in your story kind of happened, that's where you get to say, okay, I got to bring light into this darkness, but I need to know what the darkness looks like too. So that can be a really good place to start, finding out how and where this mission is to take you. And then you need to basically go and do it. And that takes a lot of courage, but it's mostly the courage to start. There's a lot of uncertainty when you haven't started, because it's really, we really want to know what the end is before we start. We want to know where we're going. We want to know the whole path, and say, well, I don't want to leave where I'm at. I don't want to leave where I'm comfortable if I don't actually know, if I'm not assured that where I'm going, either I know the path to get there or where I'm clear where I'm going. But most of the things that kind of that fall under the category of a quest or a life journey is something that the road is somewhat obscured, or you're only going to illuminate each path like a few steps ahead of you. Like if we see this horseman and he's got this kind of candle flame around him, it's only going to be able to light the way a few steps at a time. So if he says, oh, I can't see the end, I'm going to wait until I see the end, he's never going to see the end, because he's not bringing his own light forward to illuminate each step. There has to be just the courage to say, well, I can just see the next few steps in front of me, but I can only take a step or two at a time anyway, so I don't actually need to know where all of it's going to end up. I just need to see the next few steps in front. So if you are having a hard time, like, you don't need to know the whole step right now. You just need to feel the calling and answer the call, dive into a little bit of the motivation, and lean into how your own experiences, and particularly some of the more difficult ones, do qualify you and give you the unique challenge that makes you the correct one for this task. And then just take a few steps, and the rest is going to kind of, that'll be the next step that'll kind of unveil itself. So, and it's fine that we start small. Like it said, we're still at the beginning of the journey. Then it's like, oh, this big lance, big sword, it's too big for me, because you're holding the spark of an entire life vision quest that's going to be big, because it's as big as your life. And if you're just starting it out, you'll grow, basically saying you're going to grow into it. You'll grow into your mission. You'll grow into your vision. It's fine if it feels like it's just a little bit much to start out with. Everybody starts out feeling like their life's purpose is too big for them, because if you could fit your life's purpose at the beginning, then it would be really quite small. There'd be no room to grow. So I'm going to bring that into the astrology here. So we're starting off the month of February in Aquarius season. And Aquarius itself has a capacity of the vision in terms of being the innovator, and somebody who doesn't just stay in what's comfortable and stay with the status quo, but instead is going and searching out new paths that have not been explored in order to experience and create something new, and then take it back to the collective and take it back to the community, and advance everybody together with what they've learned. So it is sort of like Aquarius season is that shaking out of just being comfortable in the community and saying there's something else out there that I am going to go and explore. I don't need to wait for others to come with me. And in fact, me going out and doing it is going to light the way and perhaps help others who maybe have a bit of that fear and want to stay safe in the community, and they'll be able to see me and say, wow, they did it. Wow, they did something. Maybe I can do that as well. So this first part of the month is, is this sort of like this start. You can start and you can do this quest, but also Aquarius is kind of seen often as a loner because they don't wait for the pack and they go on their own. So there can also be this sort of feeling of isolation sometimes, and sometimes that isolation can feel good if you're like, oh, really don't want to be with the pack, and now I don't have to have all of these other people like in my ear telling me I'm doing the wrong thing. I can actually just like listen to my own guidance, listen to my own intuition, or listen to other people that are traveling the road with me, and we can form that kind of community of pioneers and innovators together. So you might welcome that sort of feeling of detachment, and not feeling like pulled and sucked in by other people's energy. But at the same time, it can feel lonely. It can feel like, I'd really like it if you guys came out with me, but you guys are all still stuck doing what you're doing. You guys aren't ready to go on your own quest, or perhaps your quest is just going elsewhere. And there can be that feeling of, it's kind of lonely here. And that's why it's holding on tight to this lance, to the fire of your vision, is that which can give you company, is being held and warmed by the light of your conviction, by the fire of the inspiration, by the message that's wrote in on this horse that said, you need to move. Your life is going to contribute in a way that's going to help everybody, but you do have to take the step, and you have to take this quest. It is also a matter of free will here. In most, in stories of archetypes of somebody going on a quest, they have to say yes. They do have to choose to go on the quest. And sometimes people don't right away. They're like, I'm really not ready. Whether they ever feel ready, and just kind of have to go in spite of it, or whether they're like, no, actually there are a few things I do need to do. I don't feel prepared. I'm going to prepare myself so that I can go on the quest. I'm not going to wait to feel prepared. I'm going to start getting myself ready so that I feel supported on this journey, and then I'm going to start at a different time. So if at this point you're like, I'm actually not resourced to really commence on this journey, preparation for the journey is part of the journey. So if that's what this like beginning of the month is for, is like, I've received a call, and I want to, but I really need to build my energy stores. I need to bring some more like kindling with me so I don't just burn out on the road. That is also fine. You don't have to jump immediately. Preparing is also a wonderful way to go. Or if you're like, I'm good, I'm just gonna take to the road, and that's what you're feeling, then also excellent for you. So again, little burpee there. So this beginning of February is this preparation for the journey, answering the call, perhaps still looking into some of that like toad dark energy, and feel like, okay, like, is there anything left of my own kind of baggage or traumas that I really need to tidy up so that I go on this quest not being kind of harried by the ghosts of my own past challenges or traumas, but that I instead can bring the strength that I acquired in fighting that past so that I can bring it forward with me, not being inspired by that which you've overcome, instead of being afraid of something that was scary for you. So that's the beginning of this month. And then when we roll into Pisces season, towards the end of February, is when we're going to be more involved in the vision. We're going to be more, Pisces is all about dreams, and the dreaming of the possible. So dreaming of the impossible so that you can then bring that into the possible. But it all starts with a vision and a dream. And that vision is also going to be tied to the benefit of the collective. Pisces is very much about us, the unity of all beings. Yes, I'm an individual, but I am a part and not separate from the organism and ecosystem of my community and the earth as well. So it's really then holding to that vision, but that vision is not just for yourself. It's not just your own glory that you're going on this quest for. This quest has a purpose to feed into the benefit of all beings as well. So that's sort of how this month is shaping up. This beginning part is receiving the quest, prepping for the quest, and maybe getting ready to take the first step. And then by the end of the month, it's like, okay, we're focused on the vision, we're into the dreaming state, and we are connected to this purpose because we're connected to everybody around us. All of this was but I don't know what, like, specifically, this task could be all kinds of things for you. Like, some of you, this might be spiritual questing. Some, this might be like a different education, a different job force. Some, this might be activism. Some, like, whatever your quest is, whatever your life goal is, it can be as varied as everything under the sun. The only thing that's really kind of unified at all is that it will probably be different than what you're doing right now. It doesn't have to be catastrophically different, but if you are in one particular mode, a particular rut, this is inviting a change of some sort. So whatever, and not everything, like, there might be several messages coming at you. It doesn't mean you have to take everything, but the kind of idea is wherever you have been right now, though it may have been an incubating time and it's certainly still valuable, this is not the end goal of where you're supposed to be. This is not the playing field that you get to live your life in. The playing field is significantly bigger, and it's time to look up from where you are now and see where you're going to get to go next. So that is, yeah, sounds like it's going to be a really exciting, interesting time for you, Gemini, and I wish you all the best.